Hey everyone, it's Ryan from the Hamiltonian Society, and we're back with another ReTrotables on the road to the 2021 Hambletonian. Now, before we get into the weekend update of the horses, this is super important. I'm going to give you, very quickly, the last 20 Hamiltonian champions, okay? And what they did on the road to the Hamiltonian. This is why it's important. This is why all these races are super important. Okay, strap your seatbelts on. Ready? Last year's champion, Ramona Hill. The worst she was third. Forbidden Trade, 2019. The worst he was third. 2018 Atlanta, second. 2017 Perfect Spirit. He never made a break. Marion Marauder, 2016. He was fourth in his first start. That was the worst he did. 2015 Pinkman. Worst he was second. 2014 Trixton, third. 2013 Royalty for Life. He made 2 breaks. Market Share, 2012. I believe he was the last to even compete in the Dexter Cup in May. Think about that. Some of these horses weren't even qualified until, I mean, horses are still qualifying this week. We're almost to July. Market Share competed in the Dexter Cup, and he didn't fare too well in the Dexter Cup. Other than that, he was super awesome when he got on a mile track. Broadbond, 2011. Worst he was third. Muscle Massive. He was 5th in his first start. Other than that, he was super awesome. Muscle Hill, 2019. Well, he was undefeated as a 3-year-old. This 2007 to 2009, we were super spoiled. Donato Hanover, Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, and Muscle Hill were all undefeated in the 3-year-old season, with Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe being the only undefeated total. He was undefeated at 2 and undefeated at 3 to win the Hamiltonian. Glide Master in 2006, he was no worse than second. Vivid Photo, he was 7th in his first start. Winsog's Legacy, no worse than third. Amigo Hall, no worse than third. Chip Chip Hooray, he made a break in his first start, and the only other bad start he had, he was 6th placed 5th. Anytime there's a placing, there's weird stuff going on the track, I'm just going to give that one a pass. And Scarlet Knight back in 2001 was undefeated as a 3-year-old. So other than Perfect Spirit, who never made a break, Royalty for Life, who made 2 breaks, and Chip Chip Hooray, who made a break in his first start, basically every horse that's won the Hamiltonian has been pretty much amazing leading up to it. No horse is perfect leading up to this, which makes it a great Hamiltonian preview. The road to the Hamiltonian, it's all fantastic. So let's get into the weekend update. We're going to start off with Venerate. Venerate's #1 on the road to the Hamiltonian. He's already had 2 qualifiers. We've watched them. They've both been fantastic. The only thing, all right, what are the cracks in Venerate's foundation? Well, every single time it looks like he races, he's never on the gate. He's always timing the gate. Now, I don't know if that's Andy being super cautious or whatever, but unless he times that gate perfectly, and we don't want horses to be timing the gate. That's putting a lot of pressure on your driver. He's never on the gate. We saw it in the Breeders' Crown. We've seen it in the qualifiers. Now we see it in a real race. He's not on the gate. Now, he gets away from the gate fine, but getting away 5th, we've seen it in the Hamiltonian a lot of the times, not really going to work out. Here he is. He's going to edge out 5th and slowly moving his way up. He looks good. Again, this is where we're going into the turn right here. You really can't see it. Yannick jumps out in front of him, and you're going to see already he's gapping his cover, cannot keep up, and Venerate's going to make a break right here. Now, it's really tough to see on the video what happens. Was he leaning in? Was he doing this? Don't really know, but at least Venerate has enough time. We've seen Hamiltonian champions make breaks in their first start. He's going to have plenty of time to fix that. On to Yonkers, on a streak. I mean, I said that this horse was going to be the Yonkers Trot champion, and there's still a chance I could be right, but I'm not really confident in that. He's got the 6-hole here, and he's going to get away 6th, and that's okay. We've seen, again, in the previous videos, he's just been lukewarm. As a Breeders' Crown champion, I don't really feel that he's come back super strong. And the bettors agree. $100 bill who's not Hamiltonian eligible. He's 1-5. He's been super this year. It's unfortunate that a horse like that can't jump in the race. But Incommunicado, the Dexter Cup champion, he's 6-1. Both of these horses are just flat out better. Even Mona Moore, we did a video about him. He's been lukewarm as well. I would say he's been just as good as On a Streak. As you could see, On a Streak is starting to make his move up the backstretch. Mona Moore jumps out in front of him. Finally gets a little cover. And this is where Mona Moore and On a Streak just a little disappointing. Again, they're just lukewarm. These horses, I know $100 bill he's super. He's a super horse. But if you look at On a Streak, he doesn't even really catch Mona Moore. Mona Moore pulls away, which is disappointing. Super disappointing. On a Streak barely makes the Yonkers Trot final. Mona Moore was very solid. He's going to be a horse that will be fighting for a good solid check in the Hambletonian, I think. He's got plenty of time to grow and get some more speed. The other race, the two horses we're going to focus on here are Johan Palima, driven by Yannick. He leaves from the middle of the pack. And In Range by T-Trick. Again, In Range, number 2 on the Hamiltonian polls. On a Streak, number 3. These are not the types of races you want to see from a horse that's ranked 2 and 3. So In Range gets away 5th. Johan Palima is sitting in the 2-hole. Johan Palima, if you go back to last week in the Svanset episode, we've discussed how he's been super to drive. He's been put in uncomfortable situations. He's responded every time that he's pulled out of a pocket, and just that's what you want to see. You want to see he wants to pass horses. So Johan Palima is in a perfect spot to do that in an uncomfortable situation. He's going to be in the 2-hole. He's a little grabbed up, but he looks perfect. Yannick looks absolutely comfortable right here. T-Trick in the back. We're going to fast forward a little bit. We're making our way up the backstretch. You can barely see In Range. He's barely on the screen. Number 5, again, he's kind of gapping his cover. Not really doing that well. Johan Palima busts out of the 2-hole. And Johan Palima is going to eventually win this race. But focus on In Range here. He tries to go 3 wide. And again, a lukewarm finish. Johan Palima bursts out of the pocket that short stretch at Yonkers. He gets the win. In Range, same deal. Okay. He gets an okay. He makes the Yonkers Trot final. But not something you want to see from your Hamiltonian contender. Who's number 4 on the Hamiltonian ranks? That's Son of a Mystery. Son of a Mystery has just been absolutely superb up until this point. We also have Locatelli. So Locatelli and Son of a Mystery are going to be the focus of the video later on this week. Why are we focusing on those two horses? Well, Son of a Mystery up until this point has been super. Locatelli has also been very solid. This race, man, this is a super race for Son of a Mystery up until the last 50 feet. It could be good, could be bad. I don't know, we'll see. But Son of a Mystery, trained by Marcus Melander, he's the Melander horse. Really, that's going, if Melander's going to win the Hamiltonian, it's Son of a Mystery. This horse doesn't seem to have any flaws other than what you're going to see right coming up. First quarter in 26-2. That is, I know it's fast, but this is a prep race. It's a 3- and 4-year-old non-winners of a ham sandwich race, whatever the conditions are. These are the types of things you want to test your horse. You want to push boundaries. You want to push limits. See how fast, how far we can go. How does he respond to this? Like what Svansets are doing with Johan Palima. How does he respond to uncomfortable situations? Locatelli, Dave Miller's driving. He's 4th. He's number 6. He's going to be following. But again, the focus is on Son of a Mystery here. He's just airmailing it. This is the type of race that we would probably see on Hamiltonian Day. The types of speeds. It's 6 o'clock. It's early. The sun's out. 3/4 of 123. Those are Hamiltonian fractions. Now you see he's starting to lean in here. Goes inside 2 pylons. Now I don't know if the horse is just starting to lean in and he's getting a little tired, or Sears just didn't steer him through the turn a little bit. But Locatelli just absolutely smoking the last quarter. And right up the last 50 feet, Son of a Mystery makes a break. 1:51.1. That is good enough to win the Hamiltonian. Son of a Mystery makes a break. Hopefully we can get Marcus to fix, and him and Brian will team up, figure out what went wrong. It's okay. It's okay that the horse made a break. What you do after that is going to be super important because, again, maybe you want to push the horse. See how fast we can go. Can we go in 50? Once you know the horse can go in 50, then you can back it off and prep him accordingly. But Son of a Mystery, other than that last 50 yards, which I am very confident that Marcus and Brian will figure out, that horse looks like a Hambletonian horse. That horse looks like he could be drinking from the Hamiltonian trophy. And give Marcus his first Hamiltonian and Sears, I believe, his fourth Hamiltonian trophy. Locatelli, very good last quarter. I want to see a little more, and we're going to dive into the video later on this week. But we need to see a little more out of Locatelli. He's got the speed now. So that's another horse that, if all the other horses are fighting for the lead and he's going to mop up in the last 3/8 of a mile, Locatelli could be a horse that could be flying at the end and picking off everybody one by one like he did with Son of a Mystery. All right, here we have qualifier from the weekend. Now this features two of Sfonset's horses. Sarah Sfonset is driving the number 1 Lindy's Musclemania, and Oka's driving the 4 Southwind Tyrian. Now, this is Southwind Tyrian's second qualifier. First qualifier was solid, very good. He was in with Venerate, who was in his second qualifier, so now we can kind of compare what's Venerate's second qualifier to what's Tyrion's second qualifier. Here we go, Tyrion. Again, remember, he's the fastest 2-year-old male trotter ever, and making his way back. And Tyrion is he's a little train. He's not that big, but boy, he looks good. He's got that white blaze and the white feet. You'll always be able to spot him on the racetrack. And Lindy's Musclemania, couple of additions now. He's got trotting hobbles on. He has the head pole. If you go back and watch the Sfonset one, we broke down all this stuff. He went from an open bridle and nothing, and now he's got an open bridle, head pole on the inside, and trotting hobbles. So that's going to be very important. How did the trotting hobbles help him? I don't know if he was just reaching out too far, getting a little imbalanced, helping him in the turns. But both Tyrion and Lindy's Musclemania, I mean, this was a great qualifier. Other than, and this is what happens when you're in a qualifier, you don't want to push the pace. So you end up getting a half in 58-1, which it's not great, but it's also fine for these two. 3/4 of 127-3. Here comes Tyrion just motoring. You could see him get into gear. Sarah and Lindy's Musclemania right behind him. She doesn't even wait till the last, I don't know, 100 yards, she pulls out. Tyrion looks strong. Lindy's Musclemania, wow, he looks even stronger. And Lindy's actually gets by Tyrion in the stretch. Coming last quarter in 26-1 and 26-2. Great qualifier for both of those horses. Now, Lindy's Musclemania has already had races, so we expect him to be in tip-top shape form. Couple of equipment adjustments. Seems to be working. We've had Oka drive. We've had Dexter drive. Now we've had Sarah drive. I don't know. I think Sarah should stay on the horse. Maybe the horse just needs to be driven like that. Maybe he needs to come off cover and sprint home. I don't own the horse. I don't train the horse, but I'm going to root for Sarah to keep driving the horse when she puts on the fastest last quarter. And sorry, boys, she's the only one that kept him trotting. So, but Tyrion, Oka, just drive Tyrion. Dexter can drive one of the other horses. Sarah can drive Lindy. That's my vote. Tyrion, great qualifier, great last quarter. We're anxious to see what he does. He gets an A so far in both of his qualifiers. Now we move on to Captain Corey. If you recall, he won by a football field in his debut at Pocono in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes. We were anxious to look forward to. Oh wait, he made a break. What happened? Oh, I gotta rewind that. I couldn't even get a full detailed explanation as to what happened. And Captain Corey makes a break behind the gate. So we're gonna revisit that real quick and look at it. I don't know what happened. It looks like the gate. Captain Corey's been so good on the gate every race, it seems like, where he just busts out of there. And here he has. He's post position number 1, but he's in post position number 4. I'm assuming because of entries or whatever rules there were. So he's got post 4, number 1. And it's a little tough to see, but he just, the gate springs and he just makes a misstep. I don't know what happened, but uncharacteristic from Captain Corey. So again, he made a break. Hopefully Oka knows why he made a break and can make the change. But if that's a mental thing and the horse just jumped off stride, that's not characteristic, because we've seen that horse just explode out of the gate before. And if any, the gate should be his strong suit. So don't know what happened, but now we have to wait a little bit longer for Captain Corey to get in gear. So who did well this weekend? Who actually won a race other than Locatelli in a series? Well, Delayed Hanover did, and he's not in the top 10, but he's a solid horse that has been very good for Okas Fonstedt. He's done whatever he's asked of him, and I'm unsure if he has the true speed to win the Hamiltonian, but again, a horse like this that just does everything you ask of him without any flaws other than maybe top-end speed, which maybe you don't need top-end speed in this group. Maybe you just need to do your job. We just watched a bunch of horses make a break this weekend for whatever reasons, who knows, mental, physical. Delayed Hanover seems to be the only one, and Johan Palima, that are just doing their job. Oka just asks them to do what they do, and then they go out, okay, we're going to go do it. We're going to go win races. Soft 3/4 of 127-1. Oka just asks him to pick up his speed, and he's going to end up winning. Mile and 55, last quarter, 27-4. Good solid mile. It's nothing to really brag home, nothing to really rant and rave about, but Delayed Hanover did his job. And that's really all that we ask for this week, in a week where 90% of the horses that are on the road to the Hamiltonian did not do their job. So congrats to Johan Palima and Locatelli and Delayed Hanover for doing your job. Again, none of those horses were in the top 10. Quattro de Julio was off. Really Fast was off. All the other horses in the top 10 have just made mistakes. And this is going to be interesting, because all these horses that are making mistakes, how are they going to respond? How are the trainers going to respond? How are the owners going to respond? And the drivers? Will the drivers lose confidence in the horses? Will the drivers get more confidence? Maybe in a case like Son of a Mystery and Brian Sears, man, he feels strong. He's like, I can't believe I pushed that horse. He went so far and so fast, and he only made a break in the last 50 feet to the wire. So maybe he's like, wow, I can really push this horse. What do some of the owners, do they think they have to put in another race? Do the trainers feel they have to go back to the drawing board, add in a couple of extra races? Again, been saying it week after week. The upcoming schedule at the Meadowlands, July 10th through August 7th. 5 straight races at the Meadowlands racetrack. The video coming out later this week will feature Locatelli and Son of a Mystery.